everybody.
Good morning.
You having a good morning?
I'm having a great morning.
Yeah? First, I would like to say thank you to everybody on Justin.tv, Roku, Smart TV, and MondoClub.com. What is that?
I think it's a club.
Well, I'm not quite sure myself yet, but I'm kind of new to IPTV as you are as well.
Yeah, we'll find out.
We will
Sooner
find out.
versus later.
You got it. This is not the Raw Hog Show. I am Dan Berta.
And I'm Coach Monique.
And we are here today starting the first ever show on life coaching. Coach?
I'm Coach Monique. My specialty is emotional intelligence and innovation. So in a nutshell, what emotional intelligence is, the ability to manage your emotions and the emotions of others to work for you rather than against you. So think anger. A positive use of anger is using it to help you energize, to make a positive difference for yourself or others. A negative use of anger is staying stuck and angry.
I met Coach Monique through our hair salon, Studio Raw, and in talking with her, she brings a very unique life coaching service to our town that is very prevalent on the West Coast as well as New York, Chicago, larger areas. Now Pittsburgh obviously growing into that demographic. Coach Monique, what makes life coaching different than therapy?
Well, there's a place for therapy, but mostly in therapy we often have to look back and consider old issues. With life coaching, particularly with me, it's very fast forward, it's very forward-facing, fast-paced. We don't really care what happened to get you where you are today. It's like, what are you going to do from today forward? And empowering you with skills, techniques, education, and strategies to do that.
When I signed up to take your 4-week series, Positively Life-Changing, I think there's issues that we can all work on in our lives. I have a temper problem at times. Just very minimally, not much.
Really?
Yeah. But
I hadn't heard.
what I did like about the life coaching service, as soon as I sat in your room, you know, I felt like it might be a good unload of talking about people that annoy me, like Ron's here, so I can't say him, like my grandma and stuff. But it really isn't. It's a matter of breaking yourself down and looking at the history of growing up and becoming who you are in life and kind of reconnecting it. What do you...
Well, first of all, there's a place for friends sometimes to dump or unload. And if you do that for over drinks one night, that's all fine. But staying stuck in that, like bitching, complaining mode is not a good thing. So you want to have tools and strategies and techniques to learn to manage your anger, which you did a beautiful job. But we have to look at anger and sadness or being stuck or in life, and you just have to move forward and go through it. If you need to hark back to a lot of old stuff, that's more therapeutic.
And I have to ask you, the dangle around your neck, the whistle, it's kind of symbolic in a way for a coach to wear a whistle. What is the deal with this one?
Well, we all feel like our ship is going down sometimes. And this is actually a reproduction of a Titanic whistle.
Same manufacturer.
Manufacturer.
Is that what the word is? Is that the same people that made it?
Yes, manufactured the whistle.
Okay.
Not the original whistles.
Did you get one of the boats that the people...
No, I didn't.
Okay.
And you know what? It wouldn't have been appropriate 40 years ago, but there are no Titanic survivors or people who were personally impacted. So the Titanic creates a great picture. People can see that, and some people did survive.
Can I hear it?
You're usually the one who blows it.
That's a nice ring. So Monique, in your series, you have several different topics that you help people work on. What are some of those topics?
Well, we help people with resiliency. So we all experience failure. So the difference is, what can you learn from your failures and move forward? Also, effective communication. We all chatter, we all talk. But can you speak to be understood? And do you listen with the intention to understand?
Okay, and today I know that we are going to be focusing on one of those topics. And what is today's topic?
Today is a self-soothing strategy, meditation. No, Dan, this is not the meditation of the 60s where you sit in your Birkenstocks crunching on granola. This meditation has gone mainstream to hospitals, schools, and even boardrooms. So the only question is, why aren't more people doing it? And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Well, one thing a lot of people always tell me when I've told them about my experience with the life coaching is I don't really have time in my day to do meditation. And you know, I work 12 hours a day, one client after the next.
I hear you.
What do you have to tell people about meditation? Is it something that requires 1 hour a day, or?
Oh, absolutely not, or no one would be doing it, including myself. Meditation, really just 20 minutes, ideally twice a day. But in that 20 minutes with the centering and the mindfulness and the relaxation, you reap the benefits for hours. And if you do it twice a day regularly, you reap the benefits every day, all day. And you're more productive, and so the time becomes available because you're using it wisely.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think that you could guide all the people on Justin.tv, Roku, Smart TV, and your favorite MondoClub.com through a little meditation technique while they're sitting at their computer or at their television right now?
Actually, that's a perfect question, and that's what we're going to do.
Yes!
Okay?
Let me.
Oh, yes, of course.
Meditation starts now.
Not usually how I start class, but hey, something new. So what I want everyone to do is simply take a deep breath.
Any particular way I need to sit?
No, Dan, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Take a deep breath, close your eyes, and simply feel your body in its position. So if you're sitting in a chair, are your feet being supported by the floor? Is your buttocks and back being supported by a chair? Feel your neck and head being supported by your shoulders. Simply be aware of your body. Now take a deep, relaxing breath and just stay centered on the body. Be aware of your body in its position. Now I want you to take a deep, relaxing breath and exhale, and just do this 2 or 3 times to feel yourself get anchored in the body and in the breath. And now what I'm going to ask you to do is, as you're breathing in, quietly say to yourself, I am relaxing. And on the exhale, simply say, I am relaxed. And as you're feeling your body in its position and you're focused on the breath, breathe in, I am relaxing. Breathe out, I am relaxed. And when your mind strays, and it will, simply bring it back to the breath, and the breath will keep you focused. This is a super simple meditation you can do anywhere, anytime, except when you need to have your eyes open. But you can use this meditation also as an active meditation with your eyes open. So while you're driving, for example. But anytime you can take 5 to 10 minutes, this is actually a super simple meditation that will relax the body. If you're anchored in the breathing, you can't have tension. And so this will build your awareness, relaxation, help you manage your energy, and you'll notice an increase in happiness, peacefulness, mindfulness, all the good stuff.
It's almost like a feeling as if I just had a quick nap, almost. Like I really, in that short amount of time, I'm not lying, I'm Catholic, it's illegal, but you really do feel recharged and kind of like I just had a fresh little...
Now, we all need a certain quota of sleep every night. So meditation is not a replacement for sleep, but actually a 20-minute meditation can be more restorative than a 3-hour nap. It really can be. And that's why it's so important to take time to do it, because the other things that are weighing you down and taking your energy and creating strife in your life will fall away more with the meditation.
And breath. Explain to me, I know there was a gentleman that you had told me about, and I remember Ann talking about the same gentleman that talks about breathing. I forget what his name was. Is it, what's that? John Kabat-Zinn?
John Kabat-Zinn.
Zinn.
Mm-hmm.
Explain, I mean, I think breathing is something we take for granted in life. I don't ever think about breathing.
Most of the time we just don't. Most of the time we don't think about our breath or our body unless we're lodging a complaint. Either A, there's pain, or B, we're looking in the mirror and saying, I can't believe my ass looks like that in the skirt. Other than that, most of the time we're not really aware of our body or our breathing. And so just simply by anchoring into your body and your breath, it brings you to a state of relaxation, because you can't be mindful of your breath and body and be tense at the same time. They're mutually exclusive. So
do you feel a connection with people that are that smoke cigarettes because of the breathing with that? Is there a connection with that?
I haven't had anyone report that, and I would say probably 20% of my clients smoke.
Okay.
And I haven't had any negative feedback about it.
Right.
I think I have had people say that once they begin to engage in meditation, they have less of a desire for smoking, and sometimes use it as a tool to begin to slow down their smoking and stop it.
Right. Coach Monique, we recently did a yoga meditation series at Studio Raw.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
And you're a strong part of that with Ann Kearney, our instructor.
Who happens to be our guest today.
Who is the guest today, and she's a very evolved soul. I always tell Ann if she would become a spiritual leader, I would be a follower.
Yeah, you and me both.
Maybe we should start our own, like,
Church.
oh, we'd get in so much trouble. But anyways, do you want to head to that video now?
That would be great.
Are you ready
Let's
to
do that.
take a peek? So you're going to kind of see how people were coming into yoga, stressed.
They're stressed. They're upset.
Did you get stressed with your iOS 7 update? Like, or
I'm
whatever?
not technically evolved enough to get stressed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know some were stressed, so let's head to the footage now. When we get back, we're going to be here with Ann and Monique, and get your yoga pants ready.
It's going to be fun.
Just breathe.
And just like rooms and spaces go through transformation and metamorphosis into something else, we do in our lives as well. We're going to check in with people tonight before yoga. I just got back from the airport, taking my second son. I'm not going to see him for 2 months and 2 days. Okay, we're here with Ann, our yoga instructor.
I'm feeling great. I'm just not happy with the new iPhone iOS 7.
I'm feeling great. I'm really looking forward to this. I've done yoga a couple times in my life.
I'm relaxed now, so I can't wait an hour from now.
Sunday night stressor. 3 kids, husband going out of town. Feel stressed.
Schedules can be stressful.
The every day-to-day activity that driving, that could be a stressor.
There are stresses every day. I'm here because I love yoga and I love Dan and Lorraine.
Back. Well, I have a bad back, a bad neck, and a bad knee, so what more do you want? Good kids, good grandkids. No, my grandkids are good. Kids are bad.
Physically, emotionally, spiritually, back, neck.
Yes. All of the above.
I've had just a jam-packed couple weeks, actually, and I hope to release all the stress of the last couple weeks tonight.
Suicidal Sunday. Definitely the worst day of the week to be single because you're home alone watching everybody else on Facebook doing wonderful things and you have nothing going on.
How are you feeling post-yoga meditation?
Can I go to sleep?
Sweet dreams.
Very relaxed. I'm ready to go to sleep. I'm ready for bed.
Or a glass of wine. And to watch the Steelers lose.
Heavenly.
Oh, I like that.
Really liked it. Thank you, Ann.
Stress? What stress?
Oh, I feel great. I feel so good. It like melted away everything that was bothering me. I'm so glad I came.
I have never been so relaxed while I'm awake in my life. It's like I'm asleep and awake at the same time. It's nuts. It feels so good.
Much better, loose, flexible.
Very relaxed. Very relaxed. It feels awesome. Absolutely awesome. Such a positive environment, good karma, good energy in the room. Fantastic.
As you can see, the answers to the question, how are you feeling, pre-yoga and meditation and post-yoga and meditation were extremely different. People just feel more relaxed, more present, very much more grateful.
Okay, so we're here with our very special guest, Ann Kernan, who is an international greeting card entrepreneur, a national motivational speaker who specializes in happiness, and a Pittsburgh favorite yoga instructor. Welcome, Ann.
Thanks,
So
Monique.
great to have
It's great
you.
to be here.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. A couple of questions. Ann, you initially began your career as an engineer with golf
Yeah,
research.
can you believe it?
How does this all come together? I'm sure it's a great story.
Well, you know, my high school teachers thought, oh, you can do math, go be an engineer, and weren't too many female engineers, so I did. Hated it. Oh, man. So, I mean, it's great for other people, but it wasn't for me. I lasted 1 year, and I said, I got to get out of here. So, went back to school and got a master's in theology, completely flipped.
Wow.
And just, it was much more, and started my card business. So I was using quotes to design greeting cards instead. It was a completely flip. I'm not a trained artist, but I taught myself calligraphy and said sayonara to engineering.
How did you happen to do the greeting card thing?
Well, it was just through, I was collecting quotes since I was a little girl, and I just loved quotes. And so I would write my own cards to my friends. This is before email and before all sorts of, and so I would take my favorite quotes and create them on these little cards and send them. And my college roommate still kids me, oh my gosh, you got a degree in engineering, but your hobby was when you were sitting on your dorm room bed is what your career is now. So there you go. That's how it worked.
Perfect. When we spoke earlier yesterday, you talked about your affinity for Buddhism, Native American culture, specifically the Hopi, Hopi Indian tribes, and ancient Christian mystic practices. Tell us more about how those interests came together to what you're doing now.
Yeah, in the 1960s, there were some writers who just began exploring the connections between Eastern and Western philosophies and religions. And I really tuned into those when I was studying theology in the 80s. And I found that there were a lot of similarities between the practices, not necessarily what people believe, but the practices. And I found practices to be very helpful for myself just as a spiritual person. So the practices of Buddhism and the practices of the ancient mystics were quite similar. Meditation, breathing, staying in the present moment. And of course the Native American spirituality was very influential to me because I was an environmental engineer and I was so concerned about the earth and the environment. So their practices also drew me in. So it was kind of a blend of all three of those.
Everything happens for a reason.
Doesn't it?
That's the truth. Yes. And I like the distinction between beliefs and practices.
Yes, yes. And I was much more interested in practices, much less interested in beliefs. I would rather not really hear about beliefs. I'd rather see how people live. Are they living compassionate, loving, happy, caring lives?
Well, that's so true. It's not what people believe. It's
no,
what they do.
It's what they do.
That is who they are.
Yep,
Great.
exactly.
Great. So that was really great. So now we're going to see. We had talked about you doing 2 to 3 yoga poses.
Absolutely.
That people could do anywhere they have, like at their desk or minimal space.
Yep.
And we have Ron.
Yes. Who's
here today, who's generously offered to step in.
And today what I'd like to do is show just 3 yoga poses that are so good for any place you are. You can do these sitting at your desk. You can do them. I travel a lot. I'm in airports. I can take a corner of an airport waiting area and do a few of them just to release tension and just to take a few moments to breathe. So we're going to just start with a basic one. It starts with standing. So let's just stand with our feet hip-width distance apart and our hands just down at our side. We want to open up our shoulders so our chests are nice and open. This type of just breathing nice and naturally. And when we're standing here, we want to make sure that the 4 spots of our feet, like the toe mound, the big toe mound, the little pinky toe, and the 2 parts of our heel are all on the ground. And then just a nice gentle inhale, raising our arms, but keeping space between our ears and our shoulders as we inhale and exhale, coming down. And again, you can do this at your desk. You don't have to be standing. Again, inhale up. Nice deep breath. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. And you can do this a number of times, and you can do it a couple times a day. It's a nice little break in the day to release stress and tension. It is very relaxing. And just remember to keep space between your ears. Anytime we hunch up our shoulders, we're adding tension. So this is just a nice, relaxing breathing. Second one, you can do at your desk very easily, even sitting down. It's called chest expansion. You know, we do this all day long, typing on a keyboard. We're hunching forward, so we don't want to do that so much. And what we can do with the chest expansion, our next move, is we broaden our chest and our shoulders. So we can either sit or stand, but just think about broadening our shoulders. Yes, there you go. Let's just link our hands behind. And if this is not comfortable, you can always put a strap behind. And just link our fingers, keeping, again, space between our ears and our shoulders. And then we just inhale and lift up. And again, everybody's bodies are different, so some of us will lift high, some of us will lift very little. But again, then keep breathing. And you want to just stay here for about a minute, engaging our abdominal muscles. Keeping space again away from between our ears and our shoulders. And this really helps with the tension that starts accumulating in our shoulders and in our backs. So that's the second move. Again, you could do this several times a day at your desk. Again, I do it standing in the corner at the airport. Sometimes I'll even go back in an airplane and do it talking to the flight attendants. Hey, how you doing today? And I do that. Okay, last one is we're going to do just what's called lateral flexion. In lateral flexion, we just stand again with our feet hip-width distance apart. Let's raise our hand, one hand up to the sky, the other hand just on our thigh, and just lean over. Just a nice stretch. You're going to get a nice stretch on the same side as your hand that's up high, and really does it's a nice oblique stretch. And we're engaging our abdominals, so it helps our abdominals as well. And then we come to the other side. And the opposite side that we're leaning, we want to put some weight into that edge of that foot on the opposite side.
No,
and then come back. Yes.
Dirty dog or
down dog. Oh, you don't want to do that in your desk. No, I think raising your tushy up in the sky, your boss might not like that. I'm not so sure, but since I'm the boss, I can do it, but I don't think so. But those are 3 great moves that you can do that are just wonderful for relaxing, for giving yourself a little bit of space during the day, and for just bringing a little bit of to your life.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Ron, for being such a good sport. You were an ideal student.
Great.
And this has been great.
Thanks.
Thank
it's
you
great
for
to
being
share.
our first guest
You're welcome.
on the Coach Monique Show.
It's my
I know
pleasure.
the Sunday night meditations that I attend are always a great start to the week.
Great.
And we just want to present you with our very own Vanna White,
Oh.
our Coach Monique Hall of Fame Happiness Award for those who work to promote happiness in life.
Well, thank you.
The real dazzling prize is the Coach Monique M&Ms.
Oh,
Yes.
I'll take those.
So those will help with the road trip.
Chocolate's always good.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks
This was
so
great.
much. Great.
Okay, so one of our spiciest, juiciest things here on Coach Monique is going to be the weekly confessional. And what we're going to do with confessionals is each week I'm going to pick 2 to 3 from a wide variety of topics. And we're going to read the letters, and then I'm going to give an emotionally intelligent, common sense response. Because as we all know, common sense is not always so common. So it's super exciting. Dan's going to do the readings, and we're going to show our Coach Monique confessional mailbox. And you can find this mailbox out in front of the studio here, and you can also send confessionals in at Monique@CoachMonique.com.
Yeah, and you do not have to put your name, just your social security number, right?
Oh, just put something.
All right, so we have received 3 questions that I pulled out, and I want you to answer today.
Okay,
Okay?
perfect.
First question. I caught my husband cheating 3 weeks before our wedding, but chose to move forward.
Okay.
I did not want to be humiliated on my wedding day. My father was also a cheater and unfaithful to my mom. I'm almost certain that my brother cheats on his wife. Is this just the norm?
Oh, geez, what a loaded question. Okay, well, first of all, we all teach people how to treat us. So when you married your husband without consequence, just weeks after you caught him cheating, you taught him that you might not like it, but you will tolerate it. So that's the first thing. We all have a little bit of ownership, and that's the ownership for this person. Also, it's interesting that she mentions the family. So her father was a cheater, and she feels that her brother cheats. And that brings back to, like, what are the family patterns? Is cheating uncommon? Unfortunately, it's not uncommon, but it certainly isn't, every relationship isn't affected by it. So the fact that she continues to see these patterns.
And do we end up with people in life that are like our parents? I've heard that before, that if your dad was a cheater, you end up with a cheater.
Well, you know what? We tend, without doing some work, we tend to gravitate towards what we know because we're comfortable with it. That doesn't mean we're happy with it.
Right.
But I find it interesting that all the relationships that she talks about center around cheating. And also questioning what other people think is more important, and going ahead to get married, even though obviously it was probably heart-crushing, but she didn't want other people to know.
This next question is probably my favorite one.
Oh, jeez.
I am a married woman who is separated and have been having an affair with a wealthy married man. He treats me to amazing things that I never would have if it weren't for his wealth. This has been going on for about 6 months, yet he does not acknowledge that this is a relationship. Where should I take this? I think he is denying his feelings.
Well, someone's in denial, and I'm going to go with it's the author of this letter. He's telling you everything that you need to know. It's not a relationship. Okay, so it's a hookup for him. I thought someone had mentioned in this letter he also said the sex was great. Well, gee whiz, they don't have to worry about if the dog has been defleed and wormed.
Yeah.
They certainly don't have to worry about kids' schedules. It's just all like sexy and fun.
Right.
So it isn't a relationship. He's calling, she's running, and she's kidding herself that it's going to be more. What she does know about him is he's a cheating, lying husband. She knows everything she needs to know.
What should she do today?
What she should do today is she mentioned that she's separated from her husband. This is the time to really just be alone and explore what it is that you want. And why, she might want to question herself, why is she gravitating towards a man who's completely emotionally available? He's not even kidding her with, oh, you don't understand. He's telling her. She's the one who's not understanding.
What if it's like nice stuff he's giving her? You know what I mean? Like cruises and stuff. Is it?
It's still just stuff, Dan.
Okay. Question 3. I am a 28-year-old gay man who came out to my family during our annual Labor Day beach vacation. My mom said that she always suspected. Dad did. Let's see, I'll always love you. My grandma, aunts, his writing's a little bad.
No.
Basically came out to everybody. The problem is my older brother is not cool with it, and he's been avoiding me. We used to watch Steeler games and golf together, but not since I've come out. I'm mad, hurt, and I'm a mess with my brother. What to do?
Oh, this is sad because I think this is probably not uncommon in the gay community that family members sometimes just can't focus right away. So what I would say is he mentions that he's 28 and he finally came out. So since this was a surprise to everyone except his mother, the letter leads me to believe that he was probably at least trying to live as a straight man for a while. So he was living a lie because of circumstances, not because he lacked integrity. And so he's had 28 years to come to this point. His older brother, if he is really shocked about this, he may be questioning, as an older brother, did I do something wrong? Am I gay? Is this our family?
What are your thoughts on people saying that people that don't accept it are usually gay?
Well,
it's their way of hiding it.
I think for some people that's true. You certainly see some people who are adamantly opposed, and it seems pretty indicative that they're gay.
Right.
I think for most people, it's just a matter of fear.
Right.
People fear what they don't understand, and rather than do their homework and really look at the science, they make judgments. And this brother is probably hurting because he's had what he thought was one kind of relationship, and now he's finding out it's a different kind of relationship, and what's this going to mean to me, or how are people going to perceive me?
What should he do today?
I would suggest calling the brother or reaching out and saying, hey, can we sit down and talk about this? But I would include a third person, mom, because she had some insight. She knew this, and maybe she can be the third party to help bring them together, because obviously she loves them both, and she has some skin in this game, and be able to help the brother transition.
Maybe I'll go to Chuck E. Cheese, have a fun day, kind of thing.
I wouldn't choose Chuck E. Cheese. I would maybe over the kitchen table at dinner.
Monique, I am so proud of you. This was your first ever show. You were a little nervous this morning, but I have to tell you, you rode the cow very well. You did a fantastic job. We're just about out of time. Please tell people where they can find you.
You can find me at CoachMonique.com or on Facebook under the Education tab. I am not the Coach Boots. I am Coach Monique.
Who's Coach Boobs?
Boots.
Oh.
Coach put out a new book, New Boots.
Okay.
The Monique Boots.
Okay. We're not going to promote them, but we are going to promote
Justin TV.
Justin.tv.
Justin.tv. Roku. Smart TV.
And your favorite.
MondoClub.com.
And we're going to find out what that is.
I'm going to know next week.
Okay. All right.
So,
everybody, thank you so much. And in closing, words about meditation today. Tell them.
The more you do it, the less you'll need it. It's super easy. There's no negative side effects. It's all upside. So the only question remains, why aren't you doing it?
I'm levitating. Look, I'm levitating. Mwah. Thank you all so much.
Thank
the
you.
Life Coach, Coach Monique. Every 2 weeks, check her out. Following the Raw Hogs.
CoachMonique.com or on Facebook.